wherever you may be. Welcome to Think Northwest. I guess Think Northwest now. We'll call it that, right? But we are here to celebrate. We're here to celebrate another one of our honorees for the Think Northwest Marketing All-Stars. Allie Daniels at Visit Seattle will be there with her shortly. I've been up since 5:30, so I chose a sentence that probably wasn't easy to say in the first place, let alone my undercaffeinated brain at the moment. I'm Doug Zanger, Executive Director of Think Northwest. I want to thank all of our members, all of our partners for your support. For those of you who are new to this, our entire reason of being is to advance the business impact of bold, creative thinkers in the Pacific Northwest. We are here to unify the industry, whether it's advertising, whether it's creativity, whether it's brands, whether it's marketing, whether it's tech in some areas. We are here to unify this industry, and we've got a lot of great stuff coming up in 2024. And again, we can't thank our members enough. So I'm just going to show you real quick, because people have asked me, say, what's the deal here? So we are, as I said, we are advancing the business impact of bold, creative thinkers in the Pacific Northwest. And some of the things that we like to do for our members, you can see over here, we got a little community. So we actually have a social platform built in where you can connect and network with other people in the Pacific Northwest. This is a community that we want to build, whether you are in the beginning of your career, those stages, whether you're in the middle, or whether you are somebody who is very seasoned, there's always going to be something from you. So part of this is that we want to be able to raise your visibility. We want the rest of the Pacific Northwest, and nay, the rest of the world, to know about your agency, your brand, your company, your talent. You also see that you get some of these membership perks. Speaking of visibility, you get a 30-minute visibility session per quarter as a member. That covers anything from PR to talking about your agency positioning. If you're an agency, some of the brand things you might be working on, anything. We spend time with you each quarter. And then also you get a 15% off Indie Agency News membership if you are an independent agency. And also our friends at Cheerful Persistency, 20% off an agency growth boot camp. Another fun thing that we have been doing lately has been our member check-ins. So these are live, and I want to show you this one. We just did this one with our partners and members Broadhead. So this gives us a chance to get to know you as a member. And again, it could be a brand. This could be an agency. It could be an individual. We want to check in with you. We do these interviews live. And again, another chance to show to show up in the world. And it doesn't have to be just once. If you have some new work, if you have some new research, anything you want to share, you can check in with us. This is your platform, and this is an opportunity for us to help you thrive and grow. Now, we are here because, and I'm going to show you one more slide, because of our Marketing All-Stars. This is our third year. And I'm very excited that we've been doing this program. In the first couple of years, we've had obviously a lot of the major brands here in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of agencies, and a lot of really talented people doing a lot of good in the marketing world and also in the community. 2023, we shifted a little bit and we created new categories. And as you can see here, they are broken down into individual honors. So we have individuals. So you have Rakaya Adams, who's the amazing CEO of the 1803 Fund in Portland. Claudine Cheever, VP of Global Brand and Marketing at Amazon in Seattle. We covered her. We did a nice little profile on her recently. So I said, Allie Daniels, she's coming up here next. Jamie Ekman out in Boise. Ed Love up at Western Washington and Bellingham. Millie Pineda. And you can see also team honors. And these are some of the brands that really stand out here in the Pacific Northwest. And also industry honors, the Brand Marketing Campaign of the Year, Startup Brand of the Year, Marketing Tech Innovation of the Year. So we're very proud to be in our third year. And I'm excited to bring in a friend of mine from my Adweek days and from my The Drum days. Allie Daniels, Chief Marketing Officer of Visit Seattle. Oh my goodness. Are you happy that I got a little Kraken going today?
I noticed that. I'm very proud. I'm impressed that you dressed appropriately, Mr. Zanger.
Okay, so wait. So there are times that I've come up and I've been wearing like a Portland Timber scarf. And you've called me out on that.
Correct. It's appropriate. Know your audience.
It's not appropriate.
Know your audience.
Know my audience. Now listen, Portland's my home, but I love Seattle and the entirety of the Pacific Northwest. So Allie, you are our Client Marketer of the Year. And I love this award because it allows agencies and it allows other folks in the industry to talk about their clients and the great stuff that they do. And so congratulations, number one, on that. No, we already, here it comes. We're already going to get, here we go. There you go. Thank you, Charles. I think there's some competition there, but that's okay.
Charles.
But that's okay. So you and I have known each other going on 7 years. And again, as my role as an editor, but I want you to talk about Visit Seattle and how it's changed and evolved from when we first met in 2016 to today. Give us a little bit of a breakdown on that.
Well, for those people that don't know what Visit Seattle is, we are basically the tourism office for the destination. We're a destination marketing organization. So our goal is to get people to come and experience the city and stay in hotels and go to restaurants and go to our incredible arts and cultural scene and go to a theater and spend their money here and then go home. And tell their friends about it, come back, post about their stories, and become advocates for us. So what's fun is that when your product is a living, breathing thing, it's ever changing. And so when we started hanging out 7 years ago, which seems crazy, the city looked different. It acted different before we experienced a pandemic. So, life was perfect.
Right.
But our city has changed, and it's changed from an infrastructure perspective. It's changed from what we have to offer to visitors perspective. The way people travel has changed. So it's been a lot of fun. It's why people stick around for as long as we do.
Yeah. And I think you'd mentioned something really interesting. And I think that there is a common bond between Seattle and Portland, and I would also argue Washington State, Oregon, Idaho, and British Columbia, where if you are somebody who comes in from outside of this region, that it is striking. So if you're somebody that's from like New Jersey, for example, and you come out, and just from my own experience, when my family came out in 1992, they were very awestruck by that. They were awestruck by what Portland looked like and what Seattle looked like, but also the entirety of the region. And that's one thing that hasn't changed for sure. And I have to imagine that makes it, I don't want to say a competitive advantage, but it makes it such a nice canvas to work from.
We surprise people.
Right.
I think, where we're tucked, look at where we are geographically, right? We're tucked in this little corner. And so there's this kind of mystery about us. And I was actually just interviewing a design candidate who's from the East Coast. And she goes, once I got here, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't this. And just to see the delight and surprise when people get to experience, again, our home, it just inspires more work, right? Inspires more stories that we get to tell about this place.
Yeah. The shorthand that I give people out east about Portland is imagine if Vermont and Williamsburg had a baby.
And for a West Coaster, I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah. So no, but they get that. They're like, ooh, that's really nice. And I was like, yeah, no. So
we're this big old city tucked in this little nature zone, right? We have these constraints because of where we are, again, geographically, that I think inspires a lot of how people do business, the type of business they do, all of that stuff.
Right. So let's talk about some of the projects because, we're talking about a client leader honor here. Talk about some of the projects that you've been most proud of as a brand leader, and you've been in this role for a long time. So you can rewind the tape as far back as you'd like, but I'm interested in some of the projects that you look at and go, you know what? Yeah, that was awesome.
There are so many. And I'm pretty sure you didn't just call me old. You just said I've been here for a while.
No, I didn't say old. I've been there for a minute.
It's the ones that go beyond a campaign, right? Those are the ones that stick with you. Those are the ones that when you're asked this question, are the ones that instantly pop into your head. I think a long time, when I came to Visit Seattle, I am non-hospitality based, right? I came from the agency world. I didn't know what a convention and visitors bureau was. And I think because of that, and because of our leadership and our board, they continue to let us act like a brand versus just a destination. When you tuck yourself into a specific industry, constraints come with that. And I think because of the moment in time that I got here and because of the people, we never had to do that. And so the things that stick out are things that we were the first to do. We debuted films at Sundance Film Festival.
Right. I remember that.
Like a destination. First of all, Park City hadn't done it before. Like we were the first destination to actually
right.
Park City. We were the first destination to be able to show off our stories, our videos in a super non-traditional way to an audience that was so eager and just like they're in the mindset to consume content, consume beautiful video, and we could show them that. And really we were selling a destination, but they didn't know that. So I would say that sticks out as a very much career highlight. In 2015, we did a campaign called Marry Me in Seattle. Same-sex marriage was not readily celebrated around the nation. And the invitation was basically, if you can't get married in your home, come get married in ours. And besides that being just a powerful statement, we sent outreach to our Seattle community, our hospitality community, saying, we want to throw 4 weddings. We need venues. We need, like, what do you need when you get married? You need the cake, you need a DJ, you need a officiant, you need all of these things. Within 24 hours, we had 4 weddings fully taken care of. And so it was this beautiful reminder of, again, what a special place this is.
Yeah.
There were no questions. There was nothing like, what's in it for me? How am I getting credit for this? It was just like, of course, what else do you need? How else can we help? So when it goes beyond an ad campaign, we more recently partnered with the Atlantic. And again, the first destination to be part of the Atlantic Festival in Washington, D.C. last September, for an audience that we hadn't really presented to before. Obviously, well-read, educated, an East Coast city, but just to be able to not just put a logo on a sign, we were able to have our own session there, and we brought poetry to the Atlantic Festival. They'd never had a poetry specific session before. We got to bring some of our own creative economy with us to highlight the fact that Seattle is this incredible city of literature. We have creativity coming out of our ears. And I think one of the best sound bites from this, which don't tell their parents, but some high schoolers skipped school.
Oh, no, that's fine.
To come to one of our sessions because they love poetry and they didn't think they could do it as a career. And so they wanted to see poets in action.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so again, it's those things that, like, I mean, it is a brand play, but we're now a part of someone's future or life, or, you know, we planted a seed.
Yeah. And I think that's really, and by the way, I'm a big fan of the Hooky Day. Especially this time of year.
Students' parents are as well.
No. It's I'm a big fan of heading up to the mountain with our kids. So
that was a long-winded answer for you.
No, I love it. Our kids are sick. Yeah, Instagram. No, that's amazing, and I do think that there is something bigger when there is intention, and that's one thing that's always stood out to me about you is. Yes, there are the tactics and the mechanics of what marketing is, but I would also argue that you and I would also say your partners, your agency partners, really deeply think about intention, which sometimes gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So I guess this is the part where let's give some props to your creative partners.
I love that.
But also, taking it one step further, let's give props, but how does that inform the way that you approach leadership and the way that you approach leadership for your teams?
Well, and you can't be a great client without great partners, right? Yeah. So should we just celebrate them for a minute?
Yeah, no, please do. And then we'll get to the, that other thing.
PB and obviously always pushing us to try new things and to push our, we have a rule, there's no bullying, there's only pushing. And some of the best ideas are when you're just a little bit uncomfortable.
Yep.
Not too uncomfortable, right? But just enough to make you think and scratch your head. And if you instantly have to like think about it, That's a good thing, right?
Mhm.
Sparkloft, Charles, our social agency, Copacino, Fujikado, another agency we work with, that they continue. We did a rain booth last year and the year before, because I had avoided talking about the rain for 12 years, because people come to Seattle and they think it's going to rain. So why are we going to tell them?
Oh, yeah.
And if it doesn't rain, they're surprised. And if it does rain, they packed appropriately. But we leaned into it, and that was really fun. So what was the original question?
Well, I don't know, but fun fact, New York gets more rain than Seattle.
There's like 12 major cities that get more rain.
More rain than Seattle.
Come on. It just mists here. It's a sexy mist.
Yeah. How does intention inform your leadership style?
I was thinking about my leadership style, and actually this I think says this a lot about who I am. Is I ran around and I shouted to different team members and said, describe my leadership style in one word and don't think about it. But I think that says a lot about me, right? In that my style has evolved and changed. When I first got here, again, coming from the agency side, I had a lot to prove. But I've become a mom. I have survived a pandemic. I have grown a beautiful team. I have lost over half of the team because of the pandemic. We are in a regrowth perspective. So I think intention is a mandatory. Like, we can't just keep going through the motions. You don't leave a legacy by just going through the motions, right? Life is short. This is the work that we have chosen to do. My husband's in education. Like, he knows the impact he has, right?
Right.
Like, he's making our youth smarter. He's setting up our next generation. And I want to ensure that what we do here feels like we're going to leave that same kind of mark, right?
Yeah.
We get to celebrate this destination. We market everything. We own nothing. Like, that's such a fascinating thing.
Yeah.
Right. And so you have to have intention. You have to believe, you have to have passion about this place, or you fail.
Yeah. I'm interested in the vibe and the dynamic with your colleagues in Portland and in Oregon, maybe out in Idaho and up in British Columbia. Like, is there like a Pacific Northwest like clique? Out, Palouse comes over. Like, how is that dynamic? Because listen, Portland and Seattle are very competitive. We get that. But
we are, but it's healthy competition. Like, my counterpart at Travel Portland is one of my favorite humans on the planet. And it's always like, if they do something cool, I call and I'm like, you jerk. Like, I want to do that. And so it's always a good sign when other destinations are like, how did you do that? Yeah. I would say in no way is it ever competition to like push down. It's always competition.
No.
Right. And it's so fun. And I would say from a click perspective, it's more like sized and similar cities are the ones that I call when I have questions. I have a call with my counterpart in Denver tomorrow to pick his brain on a project that he worked on, with Portland, with Minneapolis. I mean, during all of the social unrest around the public murder of George Floyd, we called a lot of our cities that are big cities that were in the middle of, this really important moment to talk about how they were handling it from a community perspective, from a PR perspective. And so I count on them. They're a key part of why we are good at what we do. Yeah,
that makes 100% sense. Wait, didn't we win the Cascadia Cup this year? Wait, no, I got to go back and look.
Come on.
All right, so I'm looking at the question. See, you had mentioned, like, did you call me old? No, I am old. I'm like, these are bifocals, by the way. And
not a chance.
And so, like, my rule is no 12-point font, so I chose 8-point on this. So
do you want your read? Did you have your readers? Are those progressive?
No, these are progressives. These are progressive. You've talked about the impact of the Pacific Northwest, but professionally. But what are the things that you like to do outside of work?
Did I mention I have 2 children? I mean, that's
well, no shit. I mean, we do too. So no, I get it.
I mean, it's this place, and then it's chasing them around, and it's a good reminder. I fell in love with this city as a single 20-something, and I've gotten to fall in love with it over and over again, based on life, kind of the chapter in my life that I'm experiencing. And so to see Seattle as a mom, I was actually looking at what we were going to do this weekend, and in between soccer games, Harlem Globetrotters are coming to Climate Pledge. So I think we're going to go do that. So it's just, there is what's fun is one of the first meetings I had when I was here, I had to do this, we won't call it a death march, but basically you go meet all the hotels, and I got to meet all of the GMs that wondered why I got this job. And one of the questions was, or one of the statements was, any city would be lucky to have the amount of things happening in their city as Seattle.
Right.
Like there's something happening at all times.
There is. Yeah.
And that again makes our life and our job a little bit easier.
One of those general managers at the Marriott Courtyard Pioneer Square is a college buddy of mine.
I thought you were going to say is now joining us and has some really important questions.
No, but he's one of the nicest people in the entire world.
We are very blessed with the hospitality community that we have here. And I think we knew that before the pandemic. And then when my counterparts were getting pressured to open up and invite people in and all of that before, it was probably super responsible coming out of the pandemic. Not one time did we get a call from a hotelier saying, why aren't you turning all the faucets back on?
Right.
And again, those are the moments, just like with Marry Me, where you really celebrate that you live in a special place, or you live in the place that is right for you.
Yeah, no, and that's true. No, it's very, very, very true. I think my last question, you've covered so many of these. You prepped incredibly well.
I'm a talker, Singer.
Yeah, that people will say the same about me. What do you got coming up? What should we be excited about next with what you've got going? But some of it you can divulge, some of it you can't.
Secrets. Don't tell the competition. Well, we are launching a new destination video early next month, which I'm very excited about.
We will be up there for that. Excited.
And we haven't done this in 10 years for a number of reasons, but this one, there's something really special about how this one has come together. And it's really my team working with Britt and the PBN team to tell our story in a way that's truly Seattle. So I'm excited about that. We have some new campaigns around, I mentioned the Atlantic Festival and working with the Atlantic. We're doing something even more. We talked about those ideas that make you a little uncomfortable and you have to sit on them for a little bit, but we're doing something more with books and with literature that's a little edgy, but truly ownable for Seattle. So excited about that. That's all I'll tell you about that.
Is Archie McPhee involved?
No.
I love Archie McPhee. Go ahead, please continue.
Of course you love Archie McPhee.
I know.
I could have predicted that about you.
I know.
We're doing some fun stuff around music. Telling that story is obviously there are endless ways to talk about the music scene in Seattle.
Sure.
And there's a fun one with that. And then Seattle Museum Month kicks off. I mean, what's today? February 1st. You should stay in a downtown hotel, Zanger, when you're here.
I stay at the Moxie. I'm a Marriott Bonvoy guy.
Love it. Yeah. You get half off all of our arts and cultural institutions throughout the month of February while you're here.
And I will bring my Portland Art Museum membership card with me as well.
You should.
Proudly.
So there's all kinds of stuff. And like that's on the leisure side. On the meeting side, we opened a brand new, beautiful convention center last January.
I was going to ask about that. Let me try to find it and pull it up. So please talk about this.
Pictures won't do it justice. I promise. You have to be here to experience it.
Is that where your office is?
We are a block and a half away. So we are in the Arch building, and the Summit building is the new building.
Let me see if I can.
We love both of our children the same.
So it's Summit?
Summit.
No? Yeah, so Summit. Okay, so hold on. Let me pull this up. Seattle Convention Center. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, no. Okay. Yes. Look at that.
This beautiful mix of glass. It feels like you're in the middle of the city, right? And there are these giant, the hill climb inside. You can sit on it and look down at the market and the water. So you can take your lunch breaks on these beautiful stairs. And it is absolutely stunning. There's an incredible celebration of art that is in the building. It just received LEED Platinum certification, which is a real big deal.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And there's only a couple other centers in the US that have that designation. And really it was built to represent the city and to be appropriate. Like they just dropped it in the middle of the city. Nobody does that. So we are very unique in that we have two convention centers downtown that are not connected. So
Yeah.
they're a block and a half apart, so they can function as one solid unit and they can function independently just as easily.
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
wow.
gotta see it.
No, I will. I will. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, exciting times. Exciting times.
Always.
Once again, congratulations. Very, very well deserved.
Thanks.
And I'm very excited to see you again in the very near future.
I know. Can't wait.
We got stuff cooking. So I'll have you hang out backstage.
Cool.
Thank you so much for joining us. And a reminder to everybody, go to visitseattle.org to learn more. And let's just keep supporting our city. So hang on, Allie. I will be right back. But thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Zanger.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't been back up to Seattle in a while, so I'm not going to lie. I'm very excited to come back up. It's always fun. It's always fun. But again, I want to thank all of you for joining us today, and thank you for your support of Think Northwest. The best way to get a hold of me is Zanger, Zanger, at ThinkNW.org. Also, when you go to ThinkNW.org, you will see a WhatsApp icon in the lower right corner. Go ahead and hit that. That goes right to WhatsApp. That goes right to me. Would love to talk to you about membership, talk about our mission, talk about things that we have coming up, including a creative award that we will be announcing fairly soon. And we're very excited about that. But we've got a lot going on in 2024, and we would love for you to join us. On behalf of everyone at Think Northwest, including our wonderful board, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.